Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. I have another 1/18 scale figure today. This is the Winter Soldier from Captain America. This figure is from 2011, so it's quite old. I managed to pick it up the other day here in China. I am looking forward to this. It has good articulation. Looking inside the packaging, unlike the other Winter Soldier ones that I've seen previously. So double knee I can see, it's got a waist articulation, so it looks good. I'm not really keen on the face of the mask. It looks a bit like sort of Robin from Batman and Robin, but head swap can be done. It does look pretty cool. On the back it shows a heavy artillery Captain America, an Ultimates Captain America, and a quite nice battlefield Captain America. It says, critically injured and lost in the freezing North Atlantic, the former partner of Captain America was eventually discovered by a sinister and shadowy group of evil men. Brainwashed by them, he became the Winter Soldier, a dangerous and skilled assassin feared around the world. You can see the back there, different Captain Americas, and the actual figure posed holding his rifle, his gun, which looks like... I'm not quite sure what weapon it is. A sniper rifle, maybe? We'll open this up in a second. You can see he also has a pistol, looks like a Luger perhaps, and he has a holster on his leg. There is another pistol on his chest, but I'm 100% sure that is just molded. He can't take the gun out, and his jetpack thing, which I'm not really interested in, but I'll look at that as well. So let's have a look inside. Let me see. Let's open this tape up. Very few of my figures I keep boxed. Most I open because that's what I like to do. And plus, if I'm reviewing just a box of a figure, it looks a bit boring. Okay, so... But if I can protect the packaging, I like to. But I think this is going to be a case of no, because there's so much tape on this one side. Oh. In fact, there's a lot of tape on the... Oh. And plus, it's going to rip the card anyway, so I might as well just rip them open and done. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, there's nothing extra inside that. Okay, so he has, it appears to have ankle articulation too, maybe? I'll look at that closely in a second. There's a sniper rifle snorts. The barrel is slightly bent at the tip here, which we'll look at in a moment. Let's pop out his jetpack thing, snap-on jetpack. First of all, yeah, it's a bit of nonsense, but you know, you could use that, paint it up a bit, make it look quite nice perhaps. Let's look at this gun, which is already bent. Strenat. It's a very soft plastic, unfortunately, but that can make it quite easy to bend. That is a nice looking gun. You can see there my arm for contrast. You know, they've got the two bits of paint, the black and the brown. Add a bit more paint on there, and that looked quite nice. Figure itself, he's got that sort of Luger pistol. It looks like a Luger, I think. Pop him out. Let's have a look. Okay, so, God, these joints are a bit stiff. He's been in there for 8 years. You know, this literally he's been frozen in the waist somewhere. Okay, so and he has another pistol here, which has got a bent handle, and that is quite tough plastic. I'll need to hot water that one. Is that a Luger? Maybe someone can tell me what sort of pistol that is in the comments. Okay, let's look at the figure himself. This is a nice looking figure. One thing which does stand out, looking at this, he has a different colour left upper thigh slightly than the rest of him. It's a bit more grey as opposed to dark blue, but I'm not sure if that will come out on the video. I'll show in a second. Basically, his thigh is the same colour as his knee pads. I'm not sure you can see the difference there. This colour, this thigh is slightly different to this one. Looks nice. Okay, let's look at articulation very gently. His head. Ooh. There we go. Left to right, there is no side to side, there's no up down. So he can twist his head both ways, but he can't go up and down with his head. Okay, shoulders. I'm scared of the arms. They've been there so long, so very, very gentle shake on that. In fact, I am going to pause this video, I think, and I will probably stick him in some hot water because he's been in there for eight years, give or take. So he is going to be rather stiff on some of his joints, and I don't want to break this. So I'll put this in some hot water. I'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned. Okay, I am back. He's been in some hot water. Let's continue. Let's see if he's a bit looser. So shoulders, his metal arm, robot arm, cyborg arm gets 90 degrees. The non-cyborg arm gets above 90 degrees. If you look on the cyborg arm, the little star here will actually, yeah, it does impinge slightly. What it does stop the shoulder going slightly higher where it catches on, but that's just a minor thing. As I said, this is non-removable. I know that because they've used the same thing on a Nick Fury figure and it doesn't come off, but that can be cut off and that can be replaced with one that does come out and in. Arms, he gets about 90 on the cyborg arm and he gets about the same on his human arm. Maybe again slightly more on the human arm. Okay, legs. These type of legs I really don't like because the moulding on the figure gets in the way, the hip joint. So they should be able to come outwards, but they can't because of the moulding. So he gets like that far, which is like, yeah, not great. Not good. Forwards, if you get the position right on the thigh, okay, get a little bit, not great. But you have to get the thigh, the hip in one place and the thigh to match in another place for this to get work, which is not easy. So forwards is not great. Backwards, again, you have to change the position, is not great. Knee bend is a double knee, so as expected, you do get a decent articulation, not fantastic. Okay, ankles is a backwards and forwards, but the mold gets in the way a little bit, which is a shame. His feet do turn, there's no left and right, his thighs turn as well. Yeah, it's alright. And he has his waist, sorry, which is a turn at the top and a small bit of movement as well. You will get paint rub on this, just from where it's done, but it's a decent figure. I do like this. I want to turn that thigh around to get a better range of motion, but it's stuck slightly. I might have to hot water that again in a second when I finished with you guys. Okay, let's look at the sculpt. So the face sculpt is nice. I just don't like those eye patch things. This is from the comic series, you know, looks like sort of Robin from Batman and Robin. Or Nightwing or something like that. I don't like that so much. I'd rather like the other one is like goggles and a face mask. But it's all right. He looks good. We have seen this before. This body in a Nick Fury. I think the legs we've seen before in another figure as well. Can't quite remember. The arm, the metal arm, is okay. Perhaps highlighted a bit lighter silver to make it pop would be good, but it looks nice. And the other arm looks good too. The thing that makes me laugh about this is, if this is supposed to be a metal arm, why have they still done like the triceps muscle here? It'd just be like a robot arm. So if I compare him to another figure and then look at how he holds his weapons after, including this funky backpack, I'm going to choose a Joy Toy cyborg, a cyborg soldier, because he has a robot arm. This robot arm looks far nicer than this robot arm. I will be picking up a spare one of these in the future, so I may just swap the arms over. yeah, this arm's definitely nicer. Let's look at the difference in height. So Winter Soldier I know is going to be taller. Well, I assume will be taller since the Joy Toy Dark Source ones are just a little bit short. So let's get this Winter Soldier to stand up better. Come on, legs straight. There we go. Okay, so you can see that he is a little bit taller. Now his foot doesn't want to go flat. He's a little bit taller than the Joy Toy one, but nothing that makes him or the Joy Toy incompatible with the other. In fact, he pushes a little bit closer, you can see clearly. So he's a little bit taller. Okay, yeah, pretty good. But he'll be similar height to other 1/18 scale toys, so that is good to know. Okay, we've got Joy Toy ones that you can put magnets in the guns and on the backs, which means you can just go dong, and the gun sticks on, which is really, really quite handy. Okay, so he's a good scale for 1/18. Let's put on this funky backpack jetpack thingy, which could be quite nice if they filled in the gaps, because it looks okay there, but then you pop it out, you can see the gaps here, and it's like, nah. You know, but it's okay if you're a kiddie into those sort of things. Okay, look at his guns. So look at his pistol first of all, the Luger. That should just holster very nicely. Yeah, really nice into his holster on his left thigh. That does look good. And again, this one doesn't come out, so I will be probably chopping it off in the future, and I will be replacing it probably, let me take the same guy, with one of their side holsters and pistols, because I'll have a spare one coming, or spare 3 coming in the post soon. Okay, so how does he hold his weapon? According to the packaging, he has his cyborg arm holding this side and the other arm holding that side. Now the wrists have a twist, but there's none of this going on that I can see. So let's try the pose from the packaging. So they've got that underneath, he's got his hand there. He is, all right, his hands are that slightly stiffer plastic, which I don't like on hands. I prefer a softer rubbery plastic where I know that the fingers aren't going to break if I keep opening and closing them to hold weapons. Whereas this one, I'm a bit scared it will break, but if it does, then I will replace the hands at that juncture, at that point. Okay, he's not liking holding this, he's like, oh. Okay, that is in. I see what they've done in the picture. They don't have him holding it properly. That's why he can do that pose. He's holding it like sort of that. Okay, so then this arm needs to come up, out slightly, maybe like that. Almost like he's holding a guitar. Okay, so he can't hold the gun properly due to his lack of articulation in his upper body. How have they managed to get that angle there, man? That's like ridiculous. Yeah, it's not easy to pose him like they have on the back of the packaging, which is a shame. It's a nice pose, just that he hasn't got the articulation to do it, unless you want the gun looking a bit bent. So it's a bit like a guitar there, you know, it doesn't really look the same as that pose there in terms of his arms. Articulation is it's a shame he doesn't have more in the wrist, slightly more range of motion in the arms, and that he has those hips, which I can't stand. Knees are okay, ankles need to side a bit more, and they need more on the flexation at the front. Back, he gets a little bit, you can see, but forward it just stops at that point in there. It's a nice looking figure. I like it, but it's just, it's the articulation again is the issue. I may be taking a knife to that and some other joints in the future when I have all my stuff with me, but at the moment, as I keep saying, I'm in China and most of my stuff is in Malaysia. He does look good, don't get me wrong. I do like the look of this figure a lot. I will be replacing the head in the future. I may swap the arm out, but these Marvel ones, you can't just pop and pull the arm. You probably have to split the body as well, which is a shame because it's quite a nice body, but I will see what happens in the future. So it's a pretty decent figure. If you can find it, it's worth getting. I got it quite cheap here in China, so I was quite happy about that. This is Awesome Action Toys signing out, saying please like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back soon with more Awesome Action Toy video reviews for you. Stay happy and keep collecting. Bye-bye.